Started. All right. Welcome, everyone, back to the Coach's Kitchen, where we have real conversations about growth in business, in mindset, and in the parts of our lives that don't always make it to LinkedIn. This is where we chat authentically, where breakthrough is always on the burner. I'm your host, Leslie Nicole, life coach, motivational speaker, and your favorite soul chef. This is where ambitious women like you come to unpack what's really simmering beneath the surface, from purpose to power moves, healing to high stakes leadership. Because this is not fast food healing, y'all. It's the slow, sacred work that sticks. I hope y'all are ready to get cooking because today I am joined by Joi Worthy Johnson. Joi, where you at, girl?
Listen, I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted some intro music. Okay, that's what I
Ah!
was trying to decide.
Well, let me go ahead and act like I'm giving you some right now. Hey, I'll play my
Listen,
bangles
I
for
was
the
trying
jinx.
to decide. Did I want to stand up and walk to the mic like it was a virtual stage for
I
real? I was
mean,
over here doing the theatrics.
that's why we have you come in. That is kind of like you walking into the studio. One day, y'all keep speaking that into existence. We're gonna have that virtual
That's it.
studio. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have it. We are going to have it. But I am so excited to have Joy with me. She is a public speaker. She is a speaking strategist, a communication coach. She's a speaker in herself, but she's going to join us, or she is joining us for a real conversation about reclaiming your voice, showing up with confidence, and what it really means to unmute yourself in rooms where you have learned to shrink. So we're not only talking about public speaking tonight. We're talking about self doubt, workplace silence, visibility, and the power of using your voice again after life, leadership, or experiences taught you to do what? Hold back. And if you only knew me, I am a witness. Joy, welcome to the Coach's Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be over here in the kitchen cooking a little 1-2 with you. Cooking.
Yes,
I'm excited about cooking. I'm gonna cook some. I'm cooking. We're gonna do a little. What is it? We're gonna do some greens.
some
I'm gonna
green.
do some five cheese macaroni and cheese for the people
Okay,
today,
okay.
and a little lamb with rosemary. That's what we're gonna cook up tonight.
Lamb. Do we? I don't need no lamb.
What you? Let me tell you something. Here's what you're not gonna do about the meat that I'm cooking in my kitchen. Okay, you're not
Oh
gonna
my
turn your nose
God.
up. Somebody else was like,
Somebody
that's
else is gonna eat that
good.
lamb. I'm gonna stick to my grilled chicken and my sea bass. How about that? Yeah,
I've
I'm
never
fat.
had sea bass.
Oh.
I've never had sea bass.
Well, we're gonna have to get into the kitchen and have you try some sea bass. So, but tonight, how about we talk about the crock pot method of unmuting yourself? So it's not overnight. Crock pots, as we know, it takes a lot of ingredients, it takes a lot of marinating, it takes a lot of time. So why don't you walk us through your relationship with public speaking? Has your confidence with using your voice changed over the years?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, Leslie, thank you so much for having me on Kitchen and Cocktails. Right, that's what it is,
The
right?
coach's kitchen, kitchen and cocktails. I mean, you must be thinking about later tonight, but go ahead.
Thank you for having me on the Coach's Kitchen. Perimenopause brain. But absolutely, did my relationship with public speaking, has it evolved? Has it changed? Let me tell you something. I have been speaking. I was one of those kids that's like, Joy, Joy, come in here, come here. Tell them that joke that you learned last night. Joy, come in here, come in here. Tell them about what happened when I was a little girl.
Mm.
And I was always talking. I was giving the Easter speeches. I was doing speeches in high school, in college. Me and public speaking had a wonderful relationship. So much so that I became a public speaking coach and public speaking strategist. But in 2020, I had a corporate job where I had to become a virtual speaker. And in becoming a virtual speaker, I lost the confidence of becoming of a live speaker.
Mm.
And I didn't even know that was possible. I honestly believe that public speaking was like riding a bike. It was a skill that once you had it, it would never go away. And I even used to
Mhm.
teach that. But here's the truth, it is a skill that if you don't use it, you can shrink, you can become muted, you can lose the skill set of speaking publicly with authority and confidence. So after all those years of speaking and traveling the world, traveling the country, TED Talks, MCs, For 5 years, I lost my voice.
Mm. So what made
And
you
that,
lose your voice though? Like what actually transpired? If you're willing to share.
no, absolutely. So there were a few things. One, I lost my voice in a live arena because it was a skill set that I no longer had to use. I had to master looking at a webcam, making sure my ring light was positioned well, making sure I had my notes on a screen.
Hmm.
So I was so busy focused on mastering virtual speaking that I lost the skill set of live. And I didn't realize I lost it until in 2023 I was asked to go speak. And I literally said out loud, I wish all of you guys were in black boxes with white words. And
Mm.
they started laughing. I said, but I ain't joking. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be because I had lost the art of engaging. I had lost the art of working the room, shaking hands, looking at the screen, holding my facilitator guide, or just memorizing. I'm like, what is happening? But it was literally a skill that I had just stopped using, which made me start to lose my voice. So that's one aspect of how my voice started to how I
I'm
started
gonna
to
pause you
shrink
right there.
and
You're
lose.
we are fidgeting. I want to make sure people can hear you and it's paused a little bit. So maybe you can get on the other Wi-Fi. And it's cool.
You want me to get on the other one, get off of this
Yeah,
Wi-Fi?
let's do that.
Oh man.
It's okay. This is why we do that, and we doing live, right, y'all? So things happen in life, and everything is not perfection. So, but I want to make sure everyone can hear what you have to say because it's powerful. So go ahead, keep going. You're good now.
Okay, I'm back. I'm
You,
good.
you're
I'm
back.
live. But essentially, a skill set that I had used all my life in being in person, I no longer used it. So therefore, I lost it.
Mhm.
Public speaking is not like riding a bike. Public speaking is like working out. And we know what happens. If you stop working out, what's going to happen?
Well,
Get a little get a little wobbly under the arms. Get a little extra meat under the stomach, right? Get a little chubby face. You turn fat. But if
mhm,
you want to keep the muscle, what do you have to keep doing? You have to keep working out.
mhm.
And so live public speaking was a skill that I was not able to practice, therefore I lost that
Yeah.
confidence.
So someone actually commented, they said that they have a horrible relationship with public speaking. They're shy, low confidence in public speaking. So what would you say to her?
Yes. So a lot of times when I have clients who don't have a great relationship with public speaking, there may have been a situation, an incident where they experienced something where it said, "Oh, this is what happened when I speak publicly." Okay, noted, never again. So the first thing I want to tell her is that if you had an experience either where it was in elementary school, high school, middle school, adulthood, where you had a bad experience, I need you to go back to that moment, forgive that version of you, and then let that version of you know it's okay. We are okay, and people need to hear what we have to say.
Mhm.
Your voice, your story, your special sauce is needed in the world. Your voice is an assignment, and you are not doing yourself justice and others by continuing to be silent. So
Mhm.
that's the first thing. Go back and forgive and let that version of you know that it's okay. It happened. I know you were scared, but it's safe. The second
Before you continue,
is some people just don't
you're
say
glitching.
that again.
You glitching again,
Okay.
sis. The thing. No, let me tell you something. This is how God works. Do you think it's by accident that you are being muted during a session when we are supposed to be talking about unmuting yourself? It's not by accident.
Listen.
I'm just saying. It's not by accident. So I want you to change your Wi-Fi. And while she is changing her Wi-Fi, I want y'all, y'all know I'm real, I can get deep off of something small, right? But I don't think it is like this happened before when we were talking about something else and somebody else's, I don't know. Anyway, but in past podcasts, I feel like whatever the subject matter is, we get an illustration live. And I just think it's very interesting that you are being muted. And sometimes in life, when we are being muted, we have to pivot and change our circumstances or our environment. For instance, for me, I had to change my environment when I was being muted. Culture shock, burnout, toxicity. And sometimes we have to change our environment and change how we perceive or change how we show up so others can view us in the right way. And that's deep. That's deep.
That is deep.
Ain't it deep?
Am I glitching?
Look, yes, you are. You are. You are. But that's okay. Why don't we turn off your screen for a minute?
Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna
you
keep
keep
going.
going.
Because the great thing is this is gonna be on, the Spotify's and all that. So it's all good. So why do you think so many high achieving women struggle to speak up in meetings or leadership spaces?
Can I turn on my camera to answer that or no?
Go for it. Let's try
Okay,
it. We can hear you. It's just glitching your
okay.
video.
So I'm going to do this. Now, so many women, high achieving women, tend to shrink, quiet themselves in workplace settings, especially those women over 40, is because so often we have shown extra value, overvalue, extra work, overwork, and the credit gets given to someone else. We're not acknowledged for the good things that we do, but we want to be criticized for the small, tiny thing that we didn't do or the small, tiny thing that we did do. So over time, after being rejected, after being overlooked, after being dismissed, after being disrespected, you you then think, you know what, y'all got it.
Mhm.
There's nothing for me to say. I don't need to say anything. You're not going to listen to me anyway. And that's the human side of you. Like, you can only take so much. But what I want women, especially those of us over 40, we have to reclaim our voice. We are so brilliant. We are so talented. We have so much to offer. And yes, even my presence may intimidate you a little bit, but that's not my problem anymore. That's the you problem. And I'm no longer going to decrease. I'm no longer going to minimize myself because you are intimidated by how big and great I am. So, yes, I want you to continue to talk. I want you to continue to contribute. And then I want you to learn how to self advocate, how like you did when you were in your 20s and 30s. And if someone wants to dismiss you or let me see, dismiss or reject, say, no, no, I'm sorry. Not I'm sorry, because I don't like when women do that either.
Me
No,
neither.
actually, I have one more point to make. I have one more point to make. Won't take long.
You good.
I'm thinking that we can go with plan B because here's why, right?
Mm,
I also, so that's my answer to that question. I can go on and on. That's my answer.
hmm So let's go a little deeper. So, what's the difference between choosing silence and feeling silenced? Or what's the difference between being quiet and being silenced?
Okay. So being quiet is choosing when to speak and what to give your attention and time to. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to be quiet for the moment because I'm
Mhm,
going to listen to see when I can contribute, when I can
mhm,
add value, when I can throw that ace of spade out there and say, boom, gotcha. That's choosing quiet. I'm listening. Silence is they don't want to hear me talking away, so I'm not going to say anything. I always
mm.
try to say something in meetings, and all they do is overtalk me, overlook me, dismiss my idea. So this time around, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna say anything. Both are a choice, but you see, one is wrapped in confidence and one is lacked in lack of confidence.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I feel when people say I'm gonna be silent, it's because you've let the world, you've let people dictate your silence. Quiet is, I hear you. Do you have anything? Not at the moment. Keep talking.
Mhm. Mhm.
Not at the moment.
Mhm.
I'll get back to you if I have something additional to contribute. So that is my difference between quiet and silence. And
Mhm.
I want individuals to get out of being silenced.
Mhm. Mhm. So what are some like
And how do
subtle
you get out of being silent?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How do you get out of being silent? It's a decision, it's a choice. It's tomorrow. I'm actually going to be intentional about making a contribution. And that's something else that you have to do when you're reclaiming your voice. It's intentionality. Your
Mhm.
voice is not just going to come back out of nowhere. You have to make a decision. There's some intentionality around it. I've been quiet, I've been silent for too long. Tomorrow, I'm going to speak up in this meeting. Tomorrow, I'm going to contribute in this meeting. I was working with an executive and she was experiencing silence, and she was experiencing silence because one, she was the most senior woman in both stature, hierarchy, but also in age. She was the most senior.
Mhm.
She was the most senior. And when I realized, I said, why are you silencing yourself? And she shared with me, these young guys tend to talk circles around me.
Mhm.
So then the intention was, I want you to start studying and preparing and being intentional about the contributions. Know the numbers, know the data, know the metrics, line up your wins that you can actually say in meetings. Now we have to be intentional with our voice
Mhm.
when we step over a certain age, when we get to a certain place. Some
Mhm.
people assume I'm gonna just start talking. No, don't just start talking. Be intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what are some subtle ways women silence themselves without even realizing it? So how can we recognize that we're being silenced before it's too late and then it falls into like depression and anxiety and all of these different things that have been happening because of the lack of psychological safety or because it's a toxic work culture or because it's a horrible relationship? How do we recognize that we're being silenced subtly?
Wow, that's a loaded question, Leslie. And there's so many different variations. One, subtle. Okay. You know yourself better than anyone. How am I
Mhm.
doing on glitching? Am I good?
Oh, you're good.
Am I good?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
You know yourself better than anyone. So if you notice that you're not cracking jokes like you used to, if you notice you're not giving advice like you used to, then you can start to identify, wait, what's happening with me?
Mhm.
Let me give you an example. In life, as women, we go through these different seasons of our lives. After we have children, we experience postpartum depression.
Mhm.
And the way you were vocal and joyful and laughing, now your hormones are all out of whack. And so now you're not talking. But you don't
Mhm.
even realize that you're not talking anymore. You don't realize the subtleties of, I'm not who I used to be, but, well, you just had a baby, sis. Things are different. Stress is different. Responsibility is different. So that's one thing. You know yourself better than anyone. We go through different seasons. I want you to be mindful of the seasons that you are in.
Yeah.
So often women are just going through life like, I should be the same person I was in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s, and you are not. You are not.
Mhm.
And even when you get over 40, again, now our hormones are changing again. Mood swings are changing. So I want you to be mindful of How do you feel on a daily basis? Why don't you feel this good on a daily basis?
Mhm.
Start to get in tune with yourself. What's happening? How's
Mhm.
my vitamin D? Am I taking my vitamins?
Mhm.
Have I been pouring into me, or am I actually operating from an empty place? Have I been giving and giving and giving? And so now I don't even have a voice because I've given my voice to my children. I've given my voice to my job. I've given my voice to my church. I've given my voice to my organizations. So it's going back to intentionality. You have to watch where you're giving your voice, giving your time, giving your energy. Because if you can look around and you're like, wait, what happened to me? You got lost in the sauce of everybody else. I want you
Mhm.
to get back into the love of you. Fall back in
Mhm.
love with you again. But more
Mhm.
importantly, just start looking at, wait, I used to be funny. I used to crack jokes. I used to call and be the encourager. I haven't done it in a long time. Why?
Mhm.
So I'll stop there.
So are you saying also that so we look differently, like when we look, feel, we're different, right? 20s, 30s, we're both in our 40s, and instead of like going back, we're moving forward. So are you saying that our voice could sound and look different
I,
um now that we're in our
absolutely.
40s versus in our 20s?
Let me tell you something. I was at a perimenopause conference, or it wasn't a conference, it was an event. And the therapist said, say goodbye to the old version of you because you will never be her again.
Sure.
And so often we romanticize. I remember when I used to be this and I could do that. You will never ever be that version.
Mhm.
But this new version, this 4.0, this 3.0, this 2.0 version has the ability to be better, greater, braver, more authority, more confident if you decide to let her do that.
Mhm.
So, absolutely, your voice changes, but you have the decision whether or not you allow it.
Mm.
You make the decision if you're going to be silent or if you're going to be intentional, quiet.
Mhm.
But yes,
Mhm.
because life has happened to us. And when I was 20, I remember when I moved to Chicago, I was 23 years old, and I called someone, and the woman who allowed me to live here. I said, "Listen, I want to move to Chicago." It was a Thursday. I said, "I don't have a job yet,
Mhm.
but all I need is 2 weeks. If I can come for 2 weeks and I can talk to a few people, I will get a job." And she said, "I mean, Joy, this is different. This isn't Georgia. This is Chicago." I said, "I don't care. I just gotta get there. You get me there. I'm gonna meet some people. I'm gonna get a job." That was 23-year-old Joy. 42-year-old Joy would have said, "I mean, wait. I don't. Um, do you know somebody you can introduce me to?
I
Do
ain't
you
moving
know?
without no job right now, but go ahead.
Do you know somebody?" The boldness, the tenacity, the authority,
Mhm.
the confidence was not there because life had happened.
Right.
Rejection, abandonment, being dismissed. Life had began to happen. And then I began to say that narrative about myself. Well, maybe not, maybe that I made a decision to reclaim who I am.
Yes.
I was that girl. And
Mhm.
that girl is still there. I just have to nurture her again. You
Mhm.
have to do it again
Mhm.
and again
Mhm.
and again.
And you also have different responsibilities and priorities as a 40-plus-year-old woman than a 23-year-old woman. You're married, you got kids, there's a mortgage. Like, we got bills. At 23, I think we were paying for our cell phones, some rent. We had roommates. Like, it was cool. We
It
out
was
here
different.
living. But now we out here living life
It was
and we
different.
have responsibilities. So I think it's twofold. So we do have some questions from the audience. So
That's awesome.
how do you start? Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I wanted to just also say that I also want to teach you how to embrace and nurture that inner critic. All of
Mm.
us have an inner critic that tells us what we can't do, what we shouldn't do, what happened the last time we did something. And I want you to know that that voice is the little girl inside of you trying to protect you for you doing something different, trying to protect you from doing something that may have hurt us in the past. And I remember watching this podcast where one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta was cussing that inner critic out. Shut the F up. Shut up. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Here's what we do when that inner critic shows up. You acknowledge, I understand that what we are about to do is something we've never done before. I know you don't like speaking publicly, but listen, this is something that we're going to do. It's going to be new. And more importantly, we are safe. We are here to change the life of one person. We are here to educate one person, transform one person, empower one person. And guess what? We don't have to do this for a long time. So give me your hand. We are safe. Mm-hmm. I love you. Thank you for trying to protect me in this moment. But we are about to do something new. Mm-hmm. And it's okay. Mm-hmm. That's how I want you to talk to your inner critic when it shows up and tell you what you can't do. And when it shows up and tell you what has happened in the past. Mm-hmm. You can create a new soundtrack and a new narrative around speaking and your fears. And so I just wanted to say that around that inner critic that all of us deal with.
So here's some questions from the audience. So how do you start, or let's go here. Yeah, how do you start setting healthy boundaries to let me start over, girl. How do you start setting healthy boundaries so one can live their lives out loud versus in silence? How do we set those boundaries?
Mm-hmm. You set those boundaries. I'm going to turn my camera off, okay. So maybe that will stop with the glitching. You set those boundaries by one, identifying what you want and what you don't want. Mm-hmm. I learned recently at a conference that yes is a whole paragraph and no is a complete sentence. So yes, I can do it, but I only have 1 hour. Yes, I can come, but I will get there at 6:30 and I will leave at 6:45. Yes, I can contribute, but here are my parameters. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is being intentional and knowing what it is. What are your non-negotiables? So often women are saying, I mean, it's whatever you want. I'm here, whatever. No, it's not whatever you want.
It sure ain't. Not anymore.
Here's what I can do, and here's what I'm willing to do. Here's how long I can do it, and here's how much of it I can do it to. So my answer to sum it up is knowing your full capacity, mm-hmm. knowing that yes is a paragraph, no is a complete sentence.
That's good. I mean, I feel like that just sums up the whole night right there. Yes is a whole paragraph and no is we hear the no part. But when you say yes, boy, mm-hmm. your capacity better be ready. It better be ready.
Listen.
It better be ready.
And I'm going to outline my yes. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what I can and can't do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Did you ever read that book? Mm-mm. The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Such a great book, Leslie. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, there's a part in the book where she talks about let them think what they want, let them do what they want. Because no matter what, there's going to be a way that you're still going to let someone down. Here's the example. Mm-hmm. Here's the example. A woman was going to her grandmother's birthday party, but she was tired. She was tired. And it was maybe like, let's say it was 2-hour commute. She didn't want to go, but she didn't want to let her grandmother down. Mm-hmm. But she went anyway. She went there so that her presence was a gift. Mm-hmm. But when she got there, the grandmother complained about her energy. And so the woman said, I literally just drove for hours to be here. And you're still not happy? And in her mind, it was like, I should have just let you. I should have taken care of me. I should have understood my boundary. I should have understood my capacity. Because here I am putting out, putting myself uncomfortable, driving on fumes, and you still gonna be mad, Granny? I know you lying to me. I know. So she should have let them.
Mhm.
I have to take care of me.
Mhm.
I will call you, I will FaceTime you, but I don't have the capacity this year.
Mhm.
I can get there tomorrow morning. I can
Mhm.
come a little bit later tonight.
Mhm. What was it?
Has she understood her intentionality, her
Yeah,
capacity, her
that's
boundary?
it. What was the name of the book again? You said Mel Robbins. Is that what you said?
Let them theory.
Let them
Let
theory.
them.
Okay, let them theory.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have some other questions. I'm gonna just use my phone for those. So how do you start saying yes to yourself versus saying it to everyone else without feeling selfish? I think you kind of just started talking about that just right now about capacity.
Yes. You do it.
I mean, you
I
basically were just
know.
like, just do it.
Yes. But here's the thing. Let's say, how do you start saying yes to yourself?
Hmm.
Let's say you want to start saying yes to yourself when it comes to relationships and friendships. Then let's also communicate. I think what happens, you want to take care of yourself, but no one knows what's going on with you. So they're like, what happened to Leslie? What happened to Joy? So you can say, listen, I want to let you know something. I'm in a season where I have to get back to me. I don't want you to think that I'm being shady, I'm acting funny, I'm distancing myself. But for the next 3 months, for the next 90 days, for the next month, I'm going to have to concentrate on me. Now, if you want to talk about business, if you need prayer, if you want to talk about growth, I'm available.
Yeah.
But for the next 90 days, I have to get back serious to me. And I love you. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's relationships and friendships. Everybody else don't need an explanation. It's I'll be back.
Yeah.
But in relationship, you explain, here's what I need to do, and I would love your support. I would love your encouragement in the process.
Mhm. Mhm. One more question from the audience. So, as we begin to speak, how important is it to be intentional with our words spoken to ourselves and others? Oh, I feel like I just read about this in the Word of the Lord today, but go ahead. Our words have power, but go
Let
ahead.
me tell you something. Not only do our words have power, again, I was at another conference and the woman said our words are expensive.
Mm.
I know.
Oh my
Our
God.
words
Ooh.
are expensive. And you have to be mindful of what you say about yourself and over yourself. The and so one thing that my mom says, like if you say something that you don't want, or you say cancel, 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 cancel. For example, my name is Joy, Joi. My mom says Jesus owns it. And then she says jubilant, obedient, intelligent. But I said, I don't know about that second one, mom. So my mom texted me. She said, I didn't like it when you said that, when you spoke that over yourself. So what do you need to do? And I'm like, cancel, cancel. Cancel,
I'm gonna
cancel,
start doing that with my friends. Cancel, cancel.
cancel, cancel. I am jubilant, obedient, and intelligent.
You try to say you're not obedient, Joy? Is that what you say? Okay, that's a subject for another day. Go ahead.
But your words are expensive. And
Mm.
if I know you, you are too luxurious. You are too opulent. You are too magnificent to speak
Mhm.
cheap over yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
You deserve the best of the best.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
one assignment that I want you to do tonight is I want you, when you get in the shower, when you are about to go to bed, I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to say, Joy, I love you. Oh, I love me some you. right? Not Joy, but you're
I
going
was
to
gonna say,
put
do we
your
say
name.
Joy or am I gonna say Leslie?
You're going to put your name.
Okay, okay, okay.
You are going, and even if you can't believe it right now, you're going to say it until you believe it. I
Mhm,
love you. I
mhm,
love you so much. I am proud of you. I see you. I see what you're doing. I see what you're trying to do. You keep going. Keep going. So your words are expensive. And you are too luxurious. You are too opulent. You are too magnificent to speak cheaply over yourself.
mhm, mhm. So I feel like that's a mindset shift too. Just speaking that over yourself. Are there any additional mindset shifts or unmuting framework or practical ways women can start reclaiming their voice?
And you talk about frameworks. It's like I need to pull up something.
That's all right. Turn your camera off
One,
while you
we
pulling it
talk
up.
a
Turn
lot
turn,
of.
turn that camera off for a second
Okay.
so we can hear
Oh
you.
my goodness.
It's all right.
Ladies, I want, and whoever, okay. Mm. Mindset is, it is everything. I wish that I could say forget mindset, but mindset is everything. But one thing I do want to say about mindset is I want you to identify when when did you have a confident mindset? I want you to think about that.
Mm,
When were you your most confident? What were you doing? What did you have? What did you look like? What was happening in your life? Okay, I want you to think about that. So you can maybe go back to borrow some of it. But remember, you're never going to be that version of you again. I said that and I meant what I said. You're never going to be that version of you. But when you just think about when I was this, when I did that, when I said no, when I understood, when I had a schedule, when I had a routine, when I was in love with myself, I
mhm,
was more confident. So I want you to go back to that. Um, but then also, when it comes to your mindset, I want you to be mindful of what are you listening to? Who are you around? What are you digesting, whether it's through your ear gates or your eye gates?
mhm,
And if what you have been listening to, hearing, is affecting your mindset, you may need to go on a media fast where you cut out the noise. Ideally 30 days. But I know some of y'all like, now, Joe, I just met you. Don't make me fight you already. But what? Okay, that might be too long. But let's do 7 days. 7 days, you're listening to instrumental
Oh no, turn it off again. Oh
affirmations.
Jesus. Oh Lord. I don't know what's wrong with I have so much to say about this muting situation at the end of this. It's just go ahead.
Okay, but what I was saying was listen to music that speaks life into you, that speaks life over you. And then who are you surrounding yourself around? I'll never forget, I had this girlfriend where I was feeling down, and she said, Joy, you can borrow some of my confidence.
Mm,
And I just cried. She said, because I believe in you so much. You are so dope. You are so amazing. So you can borrow some of the confidence that I have about you for yourself. And that matters as well instead of me trying to give you a framework. So it's your environment, it's your surroundings, it's who you are talking to, who you allow to talk into you, and who you talking with.
mm. And I feel like that's a whole nother episode because sometimes in order to go to the next level, we have to shed weight. We have to shed weight. And I remember, I may have said this on another episode, but I remember sitting in revival. when I was a teenager. Freddie Haynes um, used to come to Eastern Star Church all the time when I was a kid. He's still coming. But he used the analogy of getting on an elevator and how when you get on an elevator, it shows the weight capacity. So let's just say it's 3,000 pounds. And so he gets on the elevator and the elevator won't move. It won't go to the next level because the weight was over 3,000 pounds. And so sometimes we have to shed the weight. We have to get rid of people, dead people. We have to get rid of dead things. It could have been a briefcase, it could have been whatever, but that had to be shed in order for us to go to the next level. And sometimes we got to get rid of those people who are not speaking life over us. It may be us, but it could be other people as well.
Absolutely.
Mm. Oh gosh, Joy, I don't want to end the conversation. We might have to do a part two during the day. I don't know. We might have to do a part two.
We are going to have to do a part two because my sound and being muted. But let me say this. Let me say this. But even when environments around you are trying to mute you, it matters how you still keep fighting to unmute yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could easily say, oh man, Leslie, you know what, girl, let's just hang up. This is, no. We have pivot. I have to talk with my camera off. I get to come on and do a little, and then I'm going to turn my camera back off so that my voice will continue to keep, to be heard. It's all about intentionality. It's all about decisions. You have to make a decision. Are you worth it or not? Are you worth hearing? Is your voice worth hearing? Your voice is an assignment. It's an
Mm.
assignment. And I don't want to go too deep,
You can go
but when
deep.
we
That's what we do here. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's what we do here in the kitchen. Go ahead.
but your voice has intention and it has assignment. Your
Mm.
voice is not just for your ear gates because here's what I hear often. I don't like how I sound. I don't like the sound of my voice. Well, that's how you sound, sis. That's who you are. But when you talk to me, chains are broken. When you talk to me, um, what is it? Sadness is broken. When you talk to me, hope regains. When you talk to me, I believe again. When you speak to me, I can walk again. One of my favorite things to say is that people are waiting for you to break through so that they can walk through. Your
Mm.
voice is an assignment. And the longer you stay silent, it's not you're not hurting you. You're hurting those that are assigned to the words and the experiences and the life that comes through you. There is so much within you, so much experience, knowledge that only you can help. I in my daily devotional, Joy in the Morning, I said there's nobody that has the unique combination of your experience, your pain, your knowledge, and your perspective. There is nobody in the world with your unique ingredients, with your unique formula, with your unique recipe. Since we're in the kitchen,
Mhm.
you have a dash of nutmeg, a dash of cinnamon, a dash of garlic salt that just takes somebody else to the next level, but you want to be silent. Stop
Mm.
being selfish, sis. Your voice is an assignment. And I want you to think about, I'm going to try to turn my camera on again, Leslie. I want you to think about, can let me know when I got to turn it off.
You good.
I want you to think about the people that you are now digesting on social media. What do they look like? What do they sound like? People are literally laying in a bed with a bonnet speaking life and you like, what the girls do?
Mhm.
In a bed with a bonnet. They don't have no makeup on.
Right.
They are overweight, underweight, light, dark, sick, all of the things, but they understand that their voice has an assignment. The days of being polished and perfect are over. Nobody wants the polished and perfect Patty. They don't. They want the imperfection behind the scenes. Tell me what happened to you and how you're still standing. I shared with you guys when I first started. I did a TED Talk. It took me 3 times for my introduction when I did my TED Talk because it was during 2020 and 2025, during the 5 years of the biggest time I had the fear. 3 takes I started. And it got to the point where the organizer who I used to MC events for, she said, Joy, stop, breathe, start again. And then I would start, and then I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And I look out into the audience, I see my mom, I see my childhood friends, I see some strangers, and they are literally smiling. No one is looking like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. They're smiling. So I go again. It was December 2006. I had on a green dress. I can't even remember how I started the TED Talk, but I remember telling y'all it was cold. And I started and I said, I can't do it. I'm sorry, y'all. This is too much. This is too much. And I turned around and I said, Joi Johnson, you've done this. You do this. They're not asking for you to be perfect. You are talking about the uninvited guests of perimenopause. There are women committing suicide, thinking they're in early onset dementia, early onset Alzheimer's. They think they're losing their mind when simply their hormones are changing because of something our mothers never told us about, which is perimenopause. Get yourself together because you have to help one woman. I literally said that to myself. I turned around and I gave the talk. Was it perfect? No. Was I present? For every 16 minutes of it, I was. And that's all I'm requiring of you. Perfect Patty is out the door. I want to hear your imperfections. I want to see how do you show up when it looks like you can't show up. How did it look like when you thought you were going to give up, but you still push through? We can't win without failing. But we want to skip that part. We just want to skip to the good part. No, the juicy part is when we fell down and then got back up. The juicy part is when we made the mistake. The juicy part was when we were silent for 5 years. Nobody wants perfect Patty anymore. Okay, that was a
That
minute.
is what I want y'all to remember the next time you feel yourself holding back on using your voice. I think that's a great way to end. Just know that but no is a complete sentence. Yes is a paragraph. Your voice is expensive. Your voice, oh, there's so many things you said. I'm trying to remember everything. Your voice, your voice. What's the last one you just said? Your voice.
Is an
Oh,
assignment.
it's an assignment. That's it. Your voice is an assignment. I feel like that right there, like we're all called to do something in this world. And there's a reason we sound the way we do, we look the way we do. We are designed to help other people in this world, to serve others in this world, and to use our voice. So how can people find you and get to know you and get all up in your services and stuff?
Get all up in
How
my services. So one,
yeah.
you can go to thejoymethod.com, and that's Joi, thejoymethod.com. If you are in the Chicagoland area, I am hosting a live event called Command the Room, where we are talking about skills, tips, strategies, real life of how you can get back to commanding the room. That's taking place May 18th. StageWorthySpeakers.com. You can find me on Facebook at Joi Worthy Johnson. You know what I wish I could say? On all social media platforms, it's different.
It's coming.
It's
It's coming. We're
yeah.
gonna
Let me
put it
tell
in.
you.
We're gonna put it in the description. We all
Please
good.
put it in the description, and then Joy Method Speaker on Instagram. Joy Method Speaker on Instagram, where I'm giving you tips and tricks and strategies on public speaking because I heard you have a speaking engagement coming up. So I give you tips to make sure that you shine, that you win, and that one thing I also want you to realize is that the crowd is rooting for you.
Mhm.
The crowd wants you to win. The audience wants you to win. Leslie, I do. I got two things I want to say. Can I say it?
Yes, probably with your camera off, but yes.
Okay, I want you to take this visual for those of you that want to speak, that know that you have a voice, that know that you have a workshop, that know that you have a keynote, that know that you have something important. I want you to get this visual. Think of a visual of a pie, and the pie is broken into four quadrants. Okay, the first quadrant, the first 25% are people who they don't know you.
Mhm.
They don't know you. They don't know anything about you. They don't really care. Okay. The next quadrant are people that are going to like you just because of the glasses you wear, because of the green you have on, because of your lipstick, because of when you opened your door, they're like, oh, I like her. 25%, they gonna love you just because of who you are. Then there's 25 that I don't like her. It's just something I don't like her. I don't like her. And then there's 25% that says, I really don't care. I was told to come. Somebody invited me. I don't care. We'll see. So when you think about those four quadrants, there's a group of 25% that's really rocking with you anyway. There's 75% that could choose to love you. And then there's some that will not. There's nothing you can do. And so often people want to please everybody. You want all of it's not set up that way, sis. You really can win about 75% of the room, but I need you to focus on the 25 that's really rocking with you. And if I took it even smaller, focus on the one person you came there to change. Stop trying to be everything to everybody. Be something for one. Focus on the 25%.
Focus on the 25%, y'all.
That was what I wanted to tell you.
Well, thank you so much for dropping the gems today, y'all. God is so funny, and the devil probably think he winning, but he's not. So I just want to thank you so much. I think it's again very interesting that we saw unmuted live, but God, and we focused on the one. We focused on the one.
We focused on the one.
We focused on the one. So, huge thanks to Joy Worthy Johnson for just being your authentic self, being honest, and sharing your expertise, your lived experiences around confidence, public speaking, and what it really takes to unmute yourself in a world that often teaches women to stay quiet. And just remember, your voice was never lost. It may look different. It may look different. If this episode spoke to you, make sure you connect with Joy and follow her work, especially if you're ready to strengthen your voice, own your presence, and show up more boldly in every room you walk into. And if this resonated, like, subscribe, and share it with a woman who's been shrinking her voice for way too long. And I'm gonna do something a little different tonight. I'm gonna say a short prayer. I've never prayed on the Coach's Kitchen, but we're about to do it tonight because the Lord told me to. So, Lord, we thank you so much for today's episode. And I'm just praying during Mental Health Awareness Month that you would help women and men and your children to have the confidence to unmute themselves, give them the confidence to walk in the calling that you have given them, to walk in their assignment and focus on the 25 and especially the one. Lord, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for the live demonstration. And we just pray, Lord God, that the women and the men who watch tonight's episode will be forever changed. Amen. Stay grounded, y'all. Stay growing
Amen.
and keep unmuting yourself.